Why, hello. Welcome to my math strategy video. Today I am going to be working on subtraction algorithm with mixed number fractions. Why? Well, when you subtract numbers that are mixed numbers like 2 and 1/2 minus something like 1 and 4/5, it can be really confusing when the fraction of the smaller number is bigger than the fraction of the larger number. And there's a million ways to do this. You could draw pictures, which is really clear. There's a bunch of ways to do it, but I like the algorithm just because I don't have to think so much. It's just simple. All right, so let's dt. Do the delicious thing. Might not be a keeper, but let's do it. So for our first problem, we have 4 and 1/4 minus 1 and 3/4. The first thing I'm going to do is stack with the bigger number on top. So I'm going to go 4 and 1/4 minus 1 and 3/4. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is make the denominators equal. But here, I do a little shoulder shake because they're already equal for me. I don't need to do it. I got fourths and I got fourths. All right. The third thing I'm going to do is borrow from the whole. Why do I borrow from the whole? Well, 1/4 minus 3/4. I can't do it. I can't do it. And you know you can't swap. You know it. You can't. So, just like regular subtraction, I'm going to say, hey, Mr. 4, can I have one? He becomes a 3. And then he's going to send 1 over. But we're not going to send it over as a whole number. We're going to send it over as a fraction, 4/4. So this guy, instead of 1/4, when we add 4/4, we're going to be 5/4. So now we have 3 and 5/4 minus 1 and 3/4. And now we're in business. 5/4 minus 3/4, 2/4, 3. And 3 minus 1 is 2. Now our final step is we have to simplify. 2 and 2/4 equals 2 and 1/2. Okay? I think that's pretty good. Now, let's move on to a slightly trickier version of this, but with the same steps. For our next problem, I've prepared for you 5 and 1/3 minus 2 and 1/2. Okay, so remember, our first step is stack with the bigger number on top. So 5 and 1/3 minus 2 and 1/2. My second step, let me look at my steps, is to make the denominators equal. 1/3 and 1/2. It was not done for me. So let me go ahead and move my stupid face over here somewhere. Okay, I'm going to make 1/3. I like to use the ratio table. I'm going to make them into 6, so 2/6, 1/2 times 3 is going to be 3/6. So now I'm going to rewrite this guy as my face is always in the place that I'm trying to work. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 and 2/6 minus 2 and 3/6. Right? Okay. Now, step 4 is I'm going to borrow from the whole if I need to. 2/6 minus 3/6. Can I do it? No. Okay. So, boom. Make it a 4. Now I have 6, so I'm sending over 6/6, right? One whole is 6/6. So take that off, make that 8/6. So now I have 4 and 8/6 minus 2 and 3/6. Okay. 8/6 minus 3/6 is 5/6. And 4 minus 2 is 2. Last step, simplify. I don't need 2. 2 and 5/6. That's it. All right. Now, please remember a few things. When you are borrowing from a whole, you've got to remember that, like, let's say I have 4 1/4, these wholes are fourths. So if I take one off, 4 1/4 is going to become 3 5/4. Get it? Now, if I had 5 1/6, the wholes are now sixths, right? So if I take one off, that becomes 4, but that's 6 6, so it becomes 4 7 6. That's a big thing to remember. And then a second thing to remember, like, come on now, you cannot swap the fractions. Cannot. You can't be like, oh, 1/3 minus 5 6, can't do that. Put 5 6 on top. That is a no. All right. Thank you for watching my video. Now down below, you're going to see this strategy in action, what they might call an SIA, a strategy in action. I got a find story problem, and we're going to pull this puppy out to solve it. All right. Thank you.